Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us here on KREM 2 News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti. And we begin by getting a check on the forecast. Sunshine, boy, it is back and beautiful. Nicole Hernandez, she is stepping in for Thomas today. Nicole, absolutely gorgeous outside. A little bit of a chill out there, but lots of sunshine.
Yeah, totally, Laura. Tons of sunshine. Look, could that not have been better timing? The sun just decided to totally come out right now. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I do not need this jacket on. It is perfectly warm in the sunshine. Genuinely, the reason I have it on is because I have to have this phone in a pocket, and I needed a pocket, and it was the only jacket nearby. Don't grab a jacket if you're headed outside, or if you do, grab a light one because it's beautiful out. It is still a little bit chilly. This is a look over Riverfront Park, obviously. Some spots are seeing cloud cover. We're 56 degrees right now. 56 is that perfect temperature where when the sun is shining, you're like, wow, it's nice, it's warm, especially if you have too big of a jacket on. But in the clouds and when it's a little bit breezy, it still feels a little bit chilly. That's basically gonna be today in a nutshell. Right now, we are looking forward to an evening and afternoon of exactly what it looks like now. Partly cloudy skies, that sun mostly going to dominate the afternoon, ahead of a little bit of cloud cover and scattered showers tomorrow. For now, things are totally clear. Take a look at that. Nothing really going on except for some stuff in our mountains, which really aren't going to be affecting much of us. And they're really small even if you are up in the mountains for some reason. But other than that, tomorrow things start to change a little bit with that cloud cover and potential chance for a few small scattered showers moving in. Really not all that intense though. It just ends up being a really nice week from this point forward.
All right, my friend, thank you. Happening today, Spokane County is celebrating some new improvements that are at Liberty Lake Regional Park. In fact, a ribbon cutting was held there just about an hour ago, and that's where KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones was at, and he has a look at what we can all expect.
All right, well, you've got a new swimming and fishing dock that's right here behind me. A new ADA accessible kayak launch is here as well. And then there's some new picnic shelters over here as well. So these are just a couple of the new improvements that you can find here at the Liberty Lake Regional Park. At 11 a.m., there was a ribbon cutting ceremony here by Spokane County. And all of this started to really come to fruition back in 2018. As some background, this is a project that started to form then after a $50,000 anonymous donation helped develop the Liberty Lake Regional Park Master Plan. Spokane County Parks used the master plan to apply for grants with the Washington Recreation and Conservation Office. You go ahead, you fast forward a few years, construction begins in 2024, and today we had that official reopening. On top of those initial improvements we talked about, there's also new paved parking, new restrooms and shower areas, restored habitat areas, and enhanced lighting and accessibility. So again, this is already a beautiful environment. Now you just got some new and improved attributes that come along with the Liberty Lake Regional Park. But for now, reporting here in Liberty Lake, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
This is coming in new at noon. The Nez Perce County Sheriff's Office has arrested a man for a deadly shooting in Lapwai. The Sheriff's Office says they were called to a dispute on Ash Avenue yesterday evening, and when they arrived, they found a man who had been shot and killed. Deputies detained a person of interest at the scene, and after collecting evidence, he was arrested for first-degree murder. The suspect is being held in the Nez Perce County Adult Detention Center right now. And the Spokane Valley Police Department is asking for your help to identify 3 people they believe have important information regarding a fire at JCPenney on Saturday. Due to what we believe are the apparent ages of the people in the photos, we believe they're fairly young. We have blurred their faces while we get more information, but hoping that maybe you recognize some of the clothing or some of the outfits from the other day. Investigators say these 3 were in the area before the fire started, and right now fire officials are still working to figure out what caused that fire. And we are learning more about the new taxes and cuts that come with the officially approved Washington state budget. Governor Ferguson signed the budget yesterday afternoon, and it does include tax increases for business owners along with the state's top investment earners. Along with the new taxes, there are cuts to state services like the closure of a women's prison and delays in child care subsidies. Also, a new gas tax means that prices will be going up about 6 cents a gallon, and that begins July 1st.
I hear those concerns. I hear it loud and clear. We did our best in this budget to balance our approach and also try to take an approach that sets us up for the future.
The governor says his vetoes on previous versions of the budget trimmed about $25 million from what was an almost $80 billion package. And the future of President Trump's spending bill, that remains uncertain at this hour, even though he did make a rare visit to Capitol Hill to try and push it through. Now, in public, President Trump says Republicans are more united than ever, but that there are issues that have the president in a position that he is not used to, possible opposition within his own party. CBS News has an update now on those negotiations.
Trump met with House Republicans for over 1 hour.
That was love in that room. There was no shouting. I think it was a meeting of love.
But that love may be conditional.
I think anybody that didn't support it as a Republican, I would consider to be a fool.
The president said the legislation is very important for his legacy. Several campaign promises are wrapped up in it, like tax cuts for workers.
Listen to this one. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime.
The proposal also includes adding $350 billion to border security, deportation, and defense, plus spending cuts. Some holdouts are pushing for bigger state and local tax breaks, while conservatives want to trim entitlements programs. Sources who were inside the room tell CBS News Trump warned them, don't F around with Medicaid.
Here's what I want on Medicaid. We're not touching anything. All I want is one thing. 3 words. We don't want any waste, fraud, or abuse. Very simple.
House Speaker Johnson has said work requirements would be implemented. If that happens, the Congressional Budget Office estimates 7.3 million people could lose coverage by 2034. Johnson is confident his caucus will pass the bill.
We are right on track to deliver, and that's what you'll see this House do this week.
Also in the bill is $25 billion for President Trump's and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth's new defense initiative, the Golden Dome, which would be a missile defense shield around the U.S. and apparently Canada. Trump says it would be completed by the end of his term at a price tag of $175 billion. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, the White House.
Kootenai County reports all the votes have been counted and reported after yesterday's election. Here's a look at some of the results that we want to share with you. Coeur d'Alene voters have approved a $16.4 million bond, and this is for the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department. Now, that money will go toward replacing fire trucks, equipment upgrades, and work on 3 stations. And voters in the Post Falls School District voted in favor of a nearly $6 million 2-year levy. This levy will help with teacher and staff salaries, as well as support extracurricular activities, safety, and security. That passed with 62% of voters in favor. So to see all the results from the election, we have the information on our website. All you need to do is go over to KREM.com. We'll get you all up to date there.